What's up everybody, Steve here. I'm going to go through an article on price drops in our current real estate climate. I'm going to talk about this article and then I'm going to bring you into the back end of my local MLS so you can see what's going on in Southwest Florida here. And again, real estate is micro in nature, so it's important that you guys don't take this data as basically the back end of our data as this is what's going on across the entire country, because every area is different. But this article goes on to say, housing market update, shares of sellers dropping their asking price climbs past last year's rate. 12% of homes for sale had price drops in the past 4 weeks, the highest level since early December, suggesting that sellers' tight grip on the market is starting to loosen. A fast-growing share of home sellers are dropping their prices, another sign that the early 2022 housing frenzy is starting to ease as mortgage rates approach 5%. Actually, they currently are over 5% now. I'm going to go live on another video talking about rates. They're currently at 5.25% on a 30-year fixed mortgage. 12% of homes for sale had a price drop during the 4 weeks ending April 3rd, up from 9% a year earlier and the highest share since early December. The rate of sellers dropping their prices is growing faster month over month than it has since in August. And yes, I think that higher mortgage rates reduces people's purchasing power, so there's less buyers in the market. I know a lot of buyers got frustrated, they pulled out of the market. And then other buyers really have to change their criteria. So they might be completely priced out. They might have to go into a condo. So, higher interest rates is having an effect for sure. Sellers can no longer overprice their home and still expect buyers to claim more at their door. That's because higher mortgage rates are eating into home buyers' budgets. And I did other videos on this as well, kind of breaking down, higher mortgage rates if you were to buy a property and you financed at 3% compared to say 5.25%, it's starts, it's significant, and I'll be sure to link that for you guys as well so you can see really how that eats away. People are paying $200, $300, $400, $500 more a month, and that's costly, especially with everything else going up in terms of inflation, the cost of food, cost of fuel, and everything going up. It's having a devastating effect. The slowdown over the last 2 weeks has felt significant, said Seattle area Redfin agent. Usually April is when spring homebuyers and seller market begin to heat up, but this year things are cooling down a bit instead. And Seattle was a very, very hot market for a while, so for Seattle to slow down is interesting to say the least. Listings that a month ago would have had a dozen interested buyers touring in a single day now see less action than that in a whole week. Potential sellers are deciding to hold off in the midst of the market uncertainty. Home buyers are telling us that they're disengaging from the market because they've been outpriced by the market by both rapidly rising home prices and rapidly rising mortgage rates. And now let me jump over to this article from CNBC. Both articles I'll drop down below for you guys. Price drops are still rare, but the fact that they're becoming more frequent is one clear sign that the housing market is cooling, said Daryl Fairweather, Redfin's chief economist. It goes to show that there's a limit to sellers' power. And then it goes on to say, if consumer pessimism toward home buying conditions continues and the recent mortgage rate increase are sustained, then we expect to see even greater cooling off the housing market than previously forecast, wrote Mark Palin, vice president and deputy chief economist at Fannie Mae. All right, so I'm going to come over to my local MLS here. This is primarily for properties in Southwest Florida, and you can see I got a market watch hot sheet set up right here. And as you can see, over the last 7 days for residential, we are looking at a price decrease of almost 400 properties in the last 7 days. So as you can see that we are getting price reductions throughout the area. Several months back, this wasn't even a thing. You'd have a handful of them. There really wasn't that many. And it's important to understand that everything in real estate is micro. There's other areas that are still exploding in growth and price increases and high demand for housing and everything. So every area is different. So you always have to look at your own personal area. But we are starting to see a shift here in Southwest Florida, in my personal opinion, just based on new inventory coming to market. Even right now, we can come back here. We can see new listings the last 7 days. But let's just hit today. So there's 46 listings that popped up today. And the last 7 days showing 886 listings. So there is a small shift going on here in Southwest Florida, but I think, pertaining to the articles and everything else and other real estate agents that I talk to throughout the country, some other areas are seeing this as well. Some other areas are seeing declining in prices. If you're not a subscriber, this channel is all about the housing market, keeping you updated there, as well as some tips on investing into real estate. And if you want more content like that, then I suggest go ahead and subscribing. And I appreciate every subscriber on this channel. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for being here.